Hello, coins collector, and welcome back to our channel Coins Capital. Today, we're diving into the fascinating details behind the 1980 and 1980 1-cent USA coin. We'll explore its design, its historical significance, and of course, we'll answer the big question: what's its value in today's collector market? So, if you're ready to discover if you might have a hidden gem in your pocket change, let's get started. Before we delve into the coin itself, let's set the scene by talking about the year 1980. The US was going through some pivotal changes. We were at the height of the Cold War, Ronald Reagan had just won the presidency, and inflation was affecting everyone's pocketbooks. The economy played a big role in shaping the coinage of the time, and this penny is no exception. Let's see how history is reflected in this little piece of copper. Now, let's take a closer look at the 1981 cent coin's design. On the obverse side, we see the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Brenner's portrayal of Lincoln has graced the penny since 1909, commemorating Lincoln's centennial. The inscription "In God We Trust" is displayed above Lincoln's head, while the word "Liberty" is to the left. Below the portrait is the year 1980, marking the coin's minting date. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Frank Gasparro designed this reverse side, capturing the iconic structure in all its detail. If you look closely, you can even see Lincoln's statue within the memorial, a testament to Gasparro's skill. Around the top, it reads, "United States of America," and below, "E pluribus unum." At the bottom, you'll find the denomination, 1 cent. In 1980, the penny was still primarily made of copper, with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This was before the US Mint shifted to a predominantly zinc composition in 1982 due to rising copper prices. Pennies from 1980 weigh about 3.11 grams, which is notably heavier than modern pennies that weigh just 2.5 grams. Interestingly, these composition and weight differences are one way collectors identify pre-1982 pennies. The 1980 penny was minted at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, identifiable by their lack of a mint mark and AD mark, respectively. A total of over 7 billion pennies were minted in Philadelphia, while Denver produced around 4 billion. So, while the 1980 penny is not necessarily rare, certain variations and conditions can increase its value. Now, let's talk about something all collectors love: error coins. Some 1980 pennies have unique errors that can increase their value substantially. One common error from this year is the double die error, especially on the obverse side. In these coins, you might notice doubling on the inscriptions, such as "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Double die errors occur when the coin die shifts slightly between strikes, resulting in a doubled appearance. Another error to look out for is the off-center strike, where part of the design is missing due to misalignment during minting. Off-center errors can vary in value depending on how much of the design is still visible, with more extreme off-center strikes being highly desirable among collectors. So, if you have a 1980 penny with any of these characteristics, it might be worth holding onto. Now for the part you've all been waiting for: what's the 1980 penny worth today in circulated condition? A regular 1980 penny typically holds face value. However, if you have a coin in uncirculated or mint state condition, its value can range from 30 cents up to a few dollars, depending on its grade. Collectors pay particular attention to coins in higher grades, like MS-65 or MS-66, which are well preserved with sharp details and minimal blemishes. In MS-65 condition, a 1980 penny can sell for around 1 to 5. But if you're lucky enough to have a specimen graded MS-67 or higher, its value can increase significantly, sometimes reaching up to 25 or more. And let us not forget about those error coins. A double die error or an off-center error can fetch anywhere from 10 to 50 or even more, depending on the rarity and severity of the error. So, is the 1980 penny worth hanging on to? Absolutely. Although most 1980 pennies 1t make you rich, they still represent an interesting part of American history and a transition period in U.S. coinage. Plus, hunting for mint condition coins or error varieties can be a fun and rewarding experience. If you're looking to start or expand a coin collection, be sure to store your pennies in a dry, cool place and handle them carefully to maintain their condition. Using protective coin holders and gloves can prevent unwanted wear. And remember, the thrill of coin collecting is not only in the potential value but also in the journey of discovering these little treasures from the past. Now we'll break down the 1980 1-cent design, dig into its history, and of course, talk about what it's worth in today's market. Could this coin be more valuable than you think? Stick around to find out. To appreciate any coin, it's important to understand the year it was minted. 1980 was a significant time in U.S. history. Ronald Reagan had just been elected as president, and the Cold War was still very much in effect. Inflation was also a hot topic, which played a role in how coins were valued and even how they were minted. Knowing the broader context adds meaning to this small coin from the Denver Mint. Let us start by looking at the design. On the front of the coin, known as the obverse, we have the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. This image was introduced to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday and has since become an iconic symbol of the U.S. penny. Above Lincoln's portrait, you'll find the phrase "In God We Trust," and to his left, the word "Liberty." The year 1980 is engraved to the right of Lincoln, alongside the distinctive D mint mark, indicating that this coin was minted in Denver. On the reverse side, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced by Frank Gasparro in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. If you look closely, you can actually spot Lincoln's statue in the center of the memorial, a remarkable detail that many overlook. Above the memorial, it reads, "United States of America," and below, we have "E pluribus unum." The denomination, 1 cent, is displayed prominently at the bottom. Now, let us talk composition. This 1980 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it a heavier weight than today's pennies, which are mainly zinc with just a copper coating. It weighs about 3.11 grams, which might not sound like a big difference, but collectors can immediately feel the difference when holding an older penny versus a newer one. The D mint mark on this coin tells us it was minted in Denver, where about 4.1 billion of these coins were produced. Although it might not sound rare given this high mintage number, it's worth noting that most 1980 pennies are well worn from circulation. So, coins in mint or near mint condition hold extra value for collectors. Let us move on to something exciting: error coins and collectible variants. While the 1980 penny might seem common, certain errors make it unique and even valuable. One popular error to look for is the double die, often visible on inscriptions like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." Double dies happen when a coin die shifts between strikes, resulting in a doubled appearance on the lettering or date. Another valuable error to watch for is an off-center strike, which happens when the coin is struck outside the correct alignment. The further off-center the strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. A 1980 penny with these types of errors can be worth significantly more than face value, especially if it's in good condition. Now, let us talk about grading and value. Most 1980 pennies you'll find have been in circulation and hold little value beyond 1 cent. However, coins in mint state, or MS, condition can be worth much more to collectors. An MS-65 grade, which indicates a near-perfect coin with only minor imperfections, can bring around 30 cents to $1. Meanwhile, an MS-66 penny can be worth a few dollars, and if you have one in even higher grades, like MS-67, it could be valued at 10 or more. The reason for this is scarcity. Finding a well-preserved 1980D penny is challenging due to the high circulation and common wear. If you have a 1980D penny with an error like a double die or off-center strike, you're in luck. Double die errors can range from 10 to 50, while a pronounced off-center strike could go for even more depending on the degree of the misalignment. So, how can you tell if your 1980D penny is valuable? Here are some tips. First, examine the coin's condition. Look for a well-defined strike, especially on Lincoln's features in the memorial columns. If you have a magnifying glass, check for any doubling on the letters or date. You'll also want to look for signs of off-center strikes, which are fairly noticeable even without magnification. And, if your coin looks exceptionally well preserved, it might be worth getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. The 1980D penny has been a part of American pockets, registers, and savings jars for over 40 years. Though billions were minted, it's amazing to think of how each penny has its own story. From the factories in Denver to the hands of countless Americans, the 1980D penny reflects a unique slice of U.S. history. Thanks for watching, and I hope this journey through THE1980 and 1980D penny gave you a deeper appreciation for this little coin. Remember, coin collecting is as much about history and artistry as it is about value. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this. If you have any unique pennies or coins in your collection, tell us about them in the comments below. Happy hunting, and we'll see you next time on Coins Capital.